This is Max Shears for Pro Boxing Fans. I'm glad to be joined, as always, by world champion Fabio Wardley. I mean, this is technically the first world title fight for you. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's a funny one, already being a world champion, but this being my first world title fight. But yeah, look, I feel good. Feel confident, feel ready to go, like I have done in all my other fights. It hasn't really changed too much for me. I know a lot of people trying to add more on and put more on top of it because it's a world title fight and all the rest of it, but for me, it's all the same, belt or no belt, good opponent, good fight, and another night for me to come out victorious.
We all know the story of white collar Fabio Wardley, and I think as a writer it's great to write about this story, but at what point did you think boxing is a career that I can make money out of? At what point did you commit to boxing?
I committed probably after my first pro fight was really when I was like, all right, okay, I'm going to throw myself out this and just see where I land, kind of thing. See where it takes me, see where it all goes. I was working a full-time job whilst trying to train for a professional bout as well, and just quickly realised after my debut that it just wasn't sustainable to do both of them, so I decided to quit that and chuck myself at boxing full on.
I think when people watch you, they know what you're about, and obviously a lot of people were surprised by Daniel Dubois as a first defence, but was anyone on your team a bit apprehensive, or was everyone, let's do this?
No, everyone was of the same mind. Everyone was like Daniel. When I speak to my team, I speak to them all individually, and we had a list of names, and I gave it to them, and everyone came up with the same name. So, yeah, we're all in unison on that one.
I spoke to David Price, and obviously we spoke about predicting that fight, and he said that he thinks you're a better technical boxer than Daniel Dubois. Obviously a lot of people talk about his amateur pedigree. It must be nice to hear that people not just rating you for your power, but also your ability as well.
Yeah, look, I think Pricey knows what he's talking about. And yeah, it is nice to hear, because I think a lot of my wins do get masked by the knockout or by kind of the sensational fashion in which they happen, but there's a lot of prep that goes into getting to that final situation that I think is sometimes overlooked.
Daniel Dubois said that there's levels in this. Why do you think he's saying that? What do you think he's seeing? I know you won't be worried about that, but what do you think he actually is implying there?
I don't know. Like at this stage, trying to talk to me about levels when I've already fought and beat a former world champion, I think I've proven I'm of the level. I'm there. I'm up. So trying to make these large comparisons, like there's a wealth of gap between us, is just not realistic.
You said that you felt disrespected. I imagine in camp you didn't disrespect him. I imagine you haven't overlooked him at all. But when you face off, what do you see in the eyes of Daniel Dubois?
Not a lot. I don't like. Again, Daniel doesn't give much. He just is. He is what he is. He's a good fighter, a good boxer, and he's good on the night. But I think everything else building up to that is a little bit painful for you boys.
As you was leaving the workout yesterday, I saw you say to Nathan Walker, the fight ends in 2 rounds. I know it was maybe spur of the moment, but how do you actually think this fight ends?
Yeah, look, I don't think, if he wants to come engage and get stuck in with me, I don't think it lasts long at all. I think that won't play into his favour, but by the sounds of it, I don't think his team are planning on doing that. I think they're trying to stay away from me, so we'll see.
Obviously, I know this is the only fight you'll be looking at, but there's so much talk of the Battle of Britain, Tyson Fury, AJ being signed. You're a British world champion. I imagine you're looking at that fight. What next? Can you get the winner of that, I imagine?
Yeah, look, it's a fantastic fight. It's a bit long in the tooth, don't get me wrong, it's a bit outdated, but if and whenever it comes, I think us as the British public will always be interested in it, and I'll always be keeping a side eye on it as a fellow British fighter as well. So, yeah, hopefully we get to see it.
Just last one, Fabio. I saw Frank Warren a couple of days ago said that Anthony Joshua should have fought Moses Itauma as his warm-up fight. You know Moses, that's not a warm-up fight, is it? And how would that fight go, do you reckon?
Look, Frank's doing his job. He's throwing his boy into the mix of names. But yeah, Moses Itauma isn't a warm-up for anyone. I think everyone knows that.